Hello and welcome to another edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hello, everyone. Glad you're here today.
We're really excited. Today, we are going to do something that we don't normally do. This entire session, save for the space we've provided for you, if you've signed up for a live work review, is all about showing you how Greg spends his time. Well, some of it. I don't know where Greg has like a time loop that he can jump into. I don't know how he gets all this stuff done. So welcome. Excited to have you here today. If you don't know, AttractWell is a platform that has everything that you need to manage, run, grow your business. It's all in one place. And it's built by this guy right here. And today we're going to be talking about what kept him busy in 2025 and what has already had him somehow finding the time in the last 2 weeks of 2026, or the first 2 weeks rather, of 2026, to bring you guys the features that you ask for. I should say here at the start, I think this is a really important thing to note. The purpose of this call isn't necessarily to toot our horn or, here's all the cool stuff that we did. I think it's really important for you to know that all of these updates that you see are here because someone like you asked for them, right? AttractWell has been built brick by brick, piece by piece, with features that work for the business that you have. So I want to encourage you, if there are ways that you want to learn how to use AttractWell, or if you are stumbling upon a hiccup in the way that you are setting up your workflows, I want to encourage you to get in touch with us because we're always looking for ways to make this better for you and very much so for the way that you use your system. So that could mean us tailoring a training like one of these to you so that you can understand and see how it works for you, because that could very well benefit a lot of other people who use the system. Or it could be that, there is a better way for us to have it work on the back end that could help everybody else out. So we appreciate your input and being able to deliver these features. We build this platform and work this for you. You're our inspiration, and we are so honored to be a part of your journey. So welcome. We're thrilled to have you here. And we are going to talk today about all the stuff that Greg's been doing the past year. So I've got some slides prepared just to keep us on track because there's a lot. If you are here for a live work review today, I want to invite you to say so in the Q&A here live on Zoom. So I know 3 people signed up for that today. So we've got a lot to do today. But if you signed up for a live review and you're hoping to get help today, please do put your comment for me in the Q&A so that I know you're here and I don't miss you. All right, so today we're going to talk about new stuff in AttractWell. And very specifically, I want to spend some time today on a couple of exciting new sets of features and feature updates that will help you to build out funnels in your system in half the time. And then, of course, we'll be able to see all of these awesome features that folks just like you, or maybe even you, have asked for. So let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk about Greg's 2025 updates, a ton of stuff that got updated and improved and built upon in AttractWell last year, as well as what he's already done this year, which is a lot. I don't know when he sleeps. We're going to talk about this really cool update to the system that you'll find throughout. We'll talk about where you can find the speak to or talk with your system features. Basically, anywhere you see a little microphone icon, instead of having to type or to poke and click around for controls, you can hold down a microphone, you can say what you want, and you can have your system respond to write something for you, transcribe your speaking, to edit something that already exists, and more, even with design features. We also are going to talk about our AI writing controls. So if you care about what language model you prefer to use for your AI writing, you've got controls in AttractWell now for that. You can now build and edit website pages faster and easier than ever before. We're going to walk through a little demo of that today, which is super exciting. We'll talk about some new features that help you to build and edit your campaigns faster and easier than ever before, the 2 of these together, allowing you to build funnels faster than ever before. We'll talk about some cool updates that allow you to increase engagement with your community, with your list. And we'll talk about the quickest way to get paid, which is that you can now offer payments at booking. No need to set up a page, a sales page, etc. You can literally offer a calendar and people pay when they book you. And it can even be recurring, which is cool. All right, we'll also get into live help and Q&A. Of course, again, if you are here today for live help and support. We had 3 people sign up for that. I hope that you are here. I will be calling on you in the second half of the call. So feel free to let me know, please, that you are here in the Q&A. And if you have questions throughout, Greg is here. Of course, he built this stuff. He can answer questions as I'm moving my mouth. If you've got questions for me, I can look at those as well. So add those questions to the Q&As. We're going through the live call. And of course, being a live call, if you're watching this as a replay, we would love for you to come join us live. We're live at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time every Thursday. And it's a great opportunity to obviously learn how to use the system and get your questions answered. We really want this to be a space for you to feel like you can show up and walk away with what you know you need to do next. If you'd like to work together live, you can sign up to have space on a call like this one, attractwell.com/work review. Currently working to create more of that space on these calls. So do feel free to visit this and look for an upcoming Thursday where you'd like to work together. And that's a great opportunity for you to do so. But if you don't have availability on Thursdays at 2, this isn't the only option to get live help. Go to attractwell.com/live help and hop on with Pam. She's brilliant. She understands the system in full. She's a professional marketer, copywriter, website designer, and the like. She can help you with whatever you need in the AttractWell system. Go to attractwell.com/live help. And if you would like to hire our team, we've got you covered there too. attractwell.com/concierge is where you can go to learn about our team, the projects that they can do for you, and of course, to get a quote for your own project. All right, so let's talk about what Greg did last year. If you guys aren't up to speed on all of the updates that we've made in AttractWell, I'm going to give you these in rapid fire. All right, we have done demos of these throughout, as we've released them. If there is something that you'd specifically like to see or can't find, please feel free, pop that into the Q&A, but I'm going to run through these for the sake of time today. So for websites and pages in AttractWell, we do have the Talk to Edit web page builder where you can hold down the microphone and tell it to change an image, make it larger, add padding or space, change background colors, make it mobile responsive. You can basically talk to it like you're talking to a website designer and say, in this section, I want it to do this. I want it to behave this way, look this way. And after you're done speaking, you give it a moment and it edits for you. It's brilliant. You can now also connect multiple domains with the new domain manager, providing you the opportunity to truly serve multiple businesses or niches with the same AttractWell account. You have web hosting. We've upgraded to new web hosting in the last year for faster page speed loads. We have drag and drop capability in the page builder now as well. So you can tell it to do things, but you could also click and drag around. We also have page revision history, right? So if you feel like you messed something up, you want to go back and fix it, return to a previous version, you can do that now as well. And we have a bunch of beautiful new website themes, all of them, of course, customizable to your needs. There are new web templates and easy website setup. So the quick setup feature in AttractWell allows you to input just a couple of quick settings, colors, fonts, logo, photo, and a little punch up about yourself and what you do. And AttractWell can create an entire suite of homepage, about page, etc. for you that gets you about 80% done. 85% done with design and copy. You go in and make your modifications and you've got a simple, easy website set up. You can also install custom fonts easier now. You can upload font files directly to your system. You can use, we actually have image editing in AttractWell now that'll allow you to crop images to make like a transparent background into different shapes. So image framing, it's really cool. Blog post URLs are now customizable. So if you want your URL slug to contain, a keyword string that you prefer to use, but it's not also in your blog title, that's doable, really important for SEO. And if you really like a page that you made and you want the next page that you make to look a lot like it, we have a make page like this feature that is new as of this past year. For email writing and daily workflows, we have our drag and drop email builder. That was a really popular release of 2025. We have that talk to transcribe button that's throughout AttractWell in an increasing number of places. And the AI writer is now able as well to rewrite or edit your current content in a given section by simply speaking or telling it how you want to make it change, right? So it's not just tell AI what you'd like it to write for you. You could say, you want it to change the existing content. So start from the starting point. You can also have it transcribe, which is really, really cool if you just want it to say what you have to say. And the AI course creator is another awesome place where we've made improvements this year. You can type in or speak into the AI course creator to tell it what your course is about, who it's for, etc., so that it can build out that course outline and the skeleton of the course for you. Now, for courses, scheduling, and operations, we've got some more here. We've got automatic lesson creation is possible now based on existing class content. Obviously, this doesn't do video for you. We don't create your video. We certainly can host and display it for you and control access to your videos. But you will be creating your own. But you can use this feature in AttractWell to basically analyze what you have already shared in your class to add a new lesson in your class, right? So you can add additional content to your class based on what AI sees. You also have, for those of you who are maybe teams working together, you have multiple people who are bookable through a booking type. You can allow the end user to choose who they want to book with. And outbound calls. Don't know if you guys knew this. You get a business phone number through AttractWell that you can use for phone and for text. And you can call from your AttractWell. That's a part of how you connect with leads and clients. So you can not only make calls, initiate calls from your AttractWell system, you can also automatically record them, right? You can record those calls and keep those in your notes, save those files, share those files with clients, right? So these are really cool things that you can now do. Dark mode is a cool thing that you've got here as well. It might help with your workflow, kind of reducing the strain on the eyes. And if you're using the AttractWell app, which makes it possible for you to edit and manage on the go, and of course, to easily access all of the content in your members area as a participant. This is also the app that you would provide to your clients to use. We all have updated the app so that you can copy and paste links from inside the app as well. And there is also setup progress on the dashboard. All right. Again, recap. This isn't even the new stuff, you guys. For selling forms and safeguards, people can now buy from the store if you're using the store in AttractWell without setting up an account. Forms can include file upload fields, and we have improved Canva integration in AttractWell now with recommended pixel sizes and access to your Canva library where you want to add images, basically anywhere in your AttractWell account. And also your emails and phone numbers, you can choose for contacts to be blocked, right? So if there is someone who you no longer want to call or text your business phone number, that's something that is blockable, as well as emails maybe being blocked from accessing places like your member area on your website, for instance. And like I mentioned, guys, that was all last year. That was a lot, right? It's a lot of updates for 1 year. So let's talk about what is new now. And we'll go take a look at this stuff, right? So this is sort of a recap of everywhere you can speak to your system, right? So we can talk to edit our web pages, which I mentioned earlier. We can use that talk to edit inside of the block style email builder. So these are both options for you to actually go and influence design, right? So if you want a page to look a particular way, so let's just say I'm going to create a new page using this template here. And I want, let's see, what do I want to do? I want this section right here to have a different background, right? And so I don't want to go search for it. I just want to find a shortcut. So I clicked because I'm going to edit the background. And I'm going to use this talk feature. And so now I'm going to ask it to change the background of this section to one with a beach. So let's see if it caught what I said. But well, that is definitely not what I wanted. Change the background image of this section to one with a beach at sunset. Sometimes it's a matter of my microphone and whether or not I'm saying it correctly. Here we go. Oh, here we go. There's a moon. If I don't like that, oh, here we go. There's my beach at sunset. Voila. Add images. Excellent. So if you click the image, it'll open up and show you additional options. These are all going to be royalty free. And then we can go through and make some modifications here. Maybe I want to get that right there where I can see more of the water. You get the drift, right? So we can talk to edit. That's one place we can talk to edit. The other that I just mentioned is going to be either in email templates, or if you are in the process of building a message for a campaign or a broadcast for your list, you could do this as well. But I'm going to start with email templates. And I'm going to create one using this Leaf newsletter one here. And maybe in this section, I want to split these paragraphs into two columns. So I'm going to ask it to create a 2-column section here. So I have this section selected and I'm in the settings here, and I can press and hold to edit. Split the paragraphs in this section into 2 columns. It did hear me that time. And so you can now see, there we go. These are now split into 2 columns. That gives me a nice starting point for what I want. I can go make further modifications. Obviously, there's my, there, you can see how that works there. We can see what it looks like on desktop. You can see what it looks like on mobile. And you are off to the races there, just being able to speak and have those modifications made. You also have talk to transcribe, right? So when you are writing, you've got lots of places where you can simply speak and have your words show up. So in some cases, you want to use this because you want to dictate to AI perhaps what it is that you want to be done, right? To create a class, for instance, or if you want something in your own words, right? Let's talk about this here real quick. Another really powerful place is going to be where you're adding notes, perhaps from your client calls or from your leads and so on. Let me go ahead and get into a dummy account because I don't want to show anybody's information here. So let's get into this one, and we could go and find a contact here, such as myself. And maybe if I wanted to add background information here, I can click here and grant access and add additional information. Maybe I want to go down here and add notes from a call that I just had. I can click add, and my action here was a meeting, and I can click here and transcribe my notes as well, which is pretty cool. Another place you can do this as well is if I wanted to send an email, I can use the basic email editor in this case. Click here to talk to and write with AI. And you can see here that I can have it write something new. I can have it adjust the existing content, or I can have it literally transcribe for me where I press this down, I say what I want to say, and then it's going to insert what I have to say into the field, right? So you're going to find this throughout the system, which is just such a huge time saver, especially if you're on mobile, if you want to make modifications on mobile. You also, like I just showed you, you can press and hold to speak a note on a contact record. You can speak to write an email. You can use the AI writer to write or rewrite your content by speaking what you want to have changed. And in the AI course creator, you also can speak or type what it is that you want, which again is it's pretty straightforward. It's really simple. You just see that wherever you see that little microphone, you'll have the ability to make those modifications. So if I go to the classes feature in the member area menu, I go to add a new class, click the class creator tool, and I can simply hold down the microphone and tell it what I want, and I don't have to type it out. And we'll come back and revisit what the rest of this means here in just a moment. Let's get back to this here real quick. Oh yeah, and on your text chat, so for two-way texting, if you are using that feature with AttractWell, this basically allows you to DM more or less, but you're actually texting to their phone from your AttractWell system. You do have that voice button there as well. So again, you can speak it so that your words show up there and you don't necessarily have to type. All right. This is a really, really cool thing, and the implications are huge for being able to skip miles ahead in design and the creation of assets in your system for things like your website, web pages, and campaigns and classes. So we have a new feature called Create a Page from a URL, right? So this is where we can, let's just say, for instance, migrate. If you are coming over and your website is on WordPress or Wix or something like this, you can take the URL of your published website, give it to AttractWell, and it will produce a copy of that page as close as possible, right? Because websites are speaking different languages on different platforms in terms of how they're built. So it'll essentially get you to a really solid starting point, again, about 80% of the way there. And then you can continue on making those other modifications using other features in AttractWell. You also have this feature in your quick website setup. So if you go to quick setup and you don't want to build out a massive website, you just want to have a quick one pager, you can also use your quick website setup for this as well. If you want to import information from an existing website, right? So you can put a URL in and give it some instructions and come up with a really cool, almost done page. You can also create a page from a screenshot or a PDF, right? So you've got the ability here to take a design that you create and then ask AttractWell to remake that design into a page for you. So let's go take a look at this. I was actually playing around with this before our call here today. And I went into Canva because you know Canva has like, you could technically build a little website with Canva or web pages that behave in a particular way. So I found this one that I thought was really pretty. It had a lot of vibrant colors. And so I saved it as a Canva URL. And I also downloaded it. So if I go back over here to, I'm just going to click this one and pretend like this is the one that I like. Couple of options here. You could save this as an image, you could save this as a download, or you could save this as its own URL. And so what I did was you go to the share button here, and you can click download. And what I did was I created it as a PDF and downloaded it. I already have a version of this, so I'm not going to do it again. You could also click publish website. And essentially what you're doing here is, and I've already created the URL because again, I did this previously. I can copy this link and open it in a new, oops, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry about that. Once I have this published, it will give me a URL and I could also use that, right? So you've got a couple of options there. And then what you do is you pop it into AttractWell and then it can give you this, right? Which is pretty close to the version that we had. So let me show you what the flow looks like for that. I'm going to go into AttractWell and I'm going to go to website pages. I will click add. And now we have create page from another website. So what I can do here is I can copy this URL. I can paste it right there. I could give it some additional instructions if I want to. And I do need to confirm that I own or have the right to use this content because we are copying something from the internet. Please make sure that you are using this feature in an ethical and responsible way. Don't get yourself into copyright trouble. But this is obviously ideal for you to use if you are migrating and you want to get the bones of what you have moved over to AttractWell quickly so that you can then get that into shape the way that you want it. So I just showed you how you use this import feature for a literal website URL, right? So it has this. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a little weird with all of these circles and stuff around the text. And that might be something that we need to revisit in terms of how we design the section. Not the biggest deal. But I'm going to go ahead and also in another tab, just show you guys how I can do the same thing by uploading a PDF, which I also exported from Canva. And a PDF that you upload doesn't necessarily have to be a visual outline like I'm showing you now. This could be a document not necessarily a PDF. See, create page from picture or document. This can be an outline where maybe you've worked in ChatGPT or Claude or your favorite AI writer, and you have come up with a full outline for all the copy that you want to use on a page. And you can ask it to add this copy to the page, design a page around the copy. So I'm going to go find that PDF that I saved previously from Canva of that website. Again, I'm going to confirm that I own or have the right to use this content. And then I'm going to let it create the page for me. Here we go. I'm not going to do the use images from screenshot because if it's not correct, I want to be able to go because I already have a visual, like I have access to all of this stuff in Canva. So sometimes if AI doesn't get it quite right, oops, where is that? Here we go. It could come up with some pretty weird stuff. So I'm just going to leave that unchecked. Up to you. You could try this multiple ways and see which one you like best. So let's go back here and take a look at what it did for us. So I'm going to click. So first we're going to improve the page and then we can finish importing it. So I can click got it. And these are kind of strange. And so I might ask it here at improving the design to remove the white line images in this section and see what it does. You could also click to automatically make additional enhancements. This is pretty close to the original though, with the exception of this strange little thing here. And look, it got rid of it for me. Love it. That's great. I could ask it to adjust the padding, right? We could continue improving on this before we save it into where it's going to go. See how it kept all of the images that should be here and it didn't put anything funny in here. So these are all going to be placeholders for me, which I like. I can, yeah, this was one of these is the PDF. I think the PDF is still currently uploading. This is the one that came in from the URL, right? So it was copying this one and it gave me this. And again, because this came from Canva, I have the images that I can then export from Canva and put into these places. And that's totally fine with me. I am kind of curious how it might choose to improve the design in this section automatically. So we could explore this and see what kind of automatic things it might do, maybe reviewing the information that it was provided so that it can make those modifications, right? So really cool thing. You can see how it gets you structurally a lot closer to the outcome that you're looking for, especially if design is not something that you are particularly adept at, right? You just want to give it a little bit of time. And this one's almost done. There we go. Now see, you remember how I didn't check the create images for me, right? It's provided me with a space and resolution sizes, recommended resolution sizes for each of the images, right? So this, I would argue, is actually a better starting point than it coming up with some images that I have to randomly replace. So now I know all I've got to do is go back and find this image, for instance. I need this image and it needs to be, let me find my, I have too many of these open. I need to set that up for this width, right? If I want it to look that way. So this is, again, just a really great starting point. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And you could even, have the create a page like this one. If this is your home page, you could then create an about page, etc., based on this starting point. It's just such a cool thing. So that can be a written document where you are focused more on copy. It can be an image document where you're focused more on design. You could obviously try to get it to replicate a full mock-up that you've created in a tool that you feel more comfortable with. Sky's the limit. You could hand draw something if you want to. So it's a lot you can do there. You could also do this with sections. So when you are editing sections, you could take a screenshot of a section or again, upload a file, etc. So it isn't just about creating a whole page. You can do this for individual sections of a page. And you can do this, you guys, with classes and campaigns. I find this to be one of the most extraordinary time-saving features we have put into AttractWell in a while. So let's go take a look at this really quickly. starting with classes. Now, we already had the AI class builder. So if you're building out curriculum for a program, a course, etc., you've already got a couple of really great options. You can build lesson by lesson with this new empty class. You could, if you have your own outline, copy and paste from an outline that you already have. That's why I asked Greg for this feature because I love this, because I usually go into creating a course or a program fully aware of exactly what I'm going to say in it before I open AttractWell, right? And I recommend you do the same, because trying to be creative and technical at the same time is a recipe for burnout. But this new tool, very specifically this part of this new tool, where you can upload a document with your class outline in it, this will give you the bones, exactly what you need to get started, and plug in the other stuff that you need to have a class fully done. Now, you could, and this is optional, but you could, go ahead and tell it what you want your class to be about, who's it for, what's the tone, and just have it come up with something for you. But most of us have a process, right? We've got an outline that we've probably written, and we know that we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that, and these are the things that need to happen in order. So put that into an outline. You've got to have that codified in your business anyway, but then you could take that outline and upload it here, and that skeleton will provide you with a class, which is just a beautiful thing. So I actually, I had a PDF that I created. Let me see. Think I created this in my last training today. Yeah, so here we go. This is just going to be based on more or less the slides for our call. I'm going to go ahead and create this class outline. So this is going to be 2025 updates and what's new in 2026. I'll create the class outline. And what this is I just saved my slide deck. Right. So I've got a master slide deck. It's got all of the information in it. I saved that as a PDF and I've attached that here. And it's going to go and create an extensive outline for me that I can then go fill in with videos or with downloads and additional prompts and things like that that I might have for engagement in that class. So I'm going to give that a minute to do its thing while we come over here to the campaigns feature, where you can now do something very similar as well. And you can also max edit your messages in your campaigns. This is fantastic. I love this so much. And this is what really gets you to having a funnel up and ready really quickly, right? So I'm going to use the campaign creator tool. And what I would encourage you to do is go through the client funnel challenge. And I teach you in the client funnel challenge how to create an initial nurture campaign, what goes in it, what's the type of stuff you put in it. And I encourage you to use an outline format to build it. Build that outline as it's taught there. Upload that here. It will build the campaign for you. Now, if you've already set up your AI settings in AttractWell so that you can have it sound more like you when you write, it's going to write something that's incredibly accurate and fantastic. And then the cool thing is that once you have your campaign built, let me find one that's maybe got a few different messages in it. You now have the ability to edit all messages at the same time, right? And you could do so with the email builder or the basic editor, changing out the subject line, seeing what's in the body of the message, going in and opening it up and utilizing what you have there. Just all really, really cool time-saving stuff that you can do. Changing details like the date, a text version of the message versus email, etc. And so this, guys, this is such a massive time saver. So let's just say, for instance, you want to duplicate a campaign. You have a campaign that you used for an event, and you're going to repeat the same event again, but it's got a different date and time. Well, all you've got to do is go in and open up this editor and see exactly where the date shows up in all of your messages, swap these out, save the campaign, and now you've got it ready to use for your next purpose, right? Super, super cool. Now, remember that class whose outline I just provided? Check this out. Look at this. It broke it up into, there we go, updates and recap, and it's broken it down into modules for me with individual lessons. Oh, this is so cool. I'm going to go ahead and say yes to go to the next step. And now you can see that it's got my module or category listed over here. It's got it's got copy that it's pulled from my PDF that I uploaded. It's got titles. I can click add a lesson here and pop in something new. I'm going to go ahead and click create class. And now all of this is here. And so I could just pop right in here. If I've got a video that's made for this, I can go ahead and select a video. I'll go ahead and grab that one here. I can add downloads to the download section. I can say a little bit more. If I want to here, whatever it is that you want to do, require homework, instructor approval, set this up how you want it. You save your changes, and this becomes a usable class that you can share way faster than you typically would experience building out a class with AttractWell, which is really cool. Now, speaking of AI writing, we do have tighter controls now that you can use inside AttractWell. So you can use 3 different APIs for your writing requests. So if you prefer Claude or Grok or ChatGPT, you can choose. And this is going to be really anywhere you write, right? So it's not necessarily like there are some places where it'll automatically apply the AI model, but for your writing, if you go to AI settings, this is also where you teach it to write like you. You can go right here to preferred AI model. I'm choosing Claude here. That's my personal preference for writing. I think it does a slightly better job of sounding human. So it takes all this information and it writes on your behalf. So we can save that there and you get to make those changes yourself as well. We've got Gemini there too, which I didn't mention. So if that is your preference, you can plug that into AttractWell. Now with creating and editing website pages, I've just mentioned you can add a page from a URL. You can give additional instructions to make maybe changes to the design or the copy, or to use it as a design influence with additional instruction on exactly what to say. You have that import preview. You can enhance that section by section, which I showed you guys a moment ago. And then all of the images will be added to your image library once you approve those sections and what they look like. You can, again, just like I showed you before, you can use a PDF or even a screenshot to do this, to have it build a page for you. And you can do this section by section as well, not just the page. And you can reuse an existing page for a new purpose. So for example, if I were to come back over here to these pages that we created before, if I were to go here, and maybe this is my Academy landing page, I maybe want to create a new page like this one. This is a thank you page, and I will allow it to create a thank you page for folks who sign up for this course. So again, just really simple, easy controls. It gets you pretty reliably to 80–85% done, which is massive. It's usually the structural stuff that's a little bit difficult to cement into place. And this gives you what you need structurally. So you could go back and make the modifications that you wish. So I'm going to give this a moment to get to work, and we'll come back and revisit this in just a moment. Now, just to recap here with creating and editing your campaigns, which I showed you a moment ago, you can have the creator draft a campaign from a short description. You can have it add a new message to an existing campaign and auto write it for you and based on the other messages. So let's just say, for instance, again, using the example of an event, a campaign for an event that perhaps confirms event details, reminds registrants the day before, and reminds registrants an hour before. Maybe you want to write a thank you email that invites people to have a discovery call with you, right? Who registered. You can tell the campaign builder to do that, and it will create a new email for you that will follow the existing, just as an example. And again, if you have your own outline written, you can provide that and it will plug it all in for you. And if your AI settings have rules that maybe define, for instance, what your call to action is and the link for people to get your free thing or sign up for a free call with you, it can automatically have all of these things written to incredibly precise requirements, we'll say, for your business and the needs that you have trained your AI on in your AI settings. And you also, again, which I just love this as a time saver, can edit all of your messages on an existing campaign on a single screen. So let's go back here where we were asking it to create a thank you page. We can go edit that new page. And you can see here, you're in, check your inbox, save your spot, get a quick win, recommended resources. We can, delete some of these if we don't need them. But yeah, this is such a cool feature that saves a ton of time. It's preserved the color, the spacing. It looks congruent with the page that came before it. And it gives us, just that option to be able to quickly create the thing that we want. Now, just a couple more things before we get into life help and Q&A. You now have a couple of cool new tools to increase engagement in your business. One of them is to include a countdown timer in the email builder. This allows you to add a fixed end date and time or a relative time to when the email is sent. So if you want to, maybe in a sales campaign, add a countdown timer, you can choose the hard date and time that something is going to expire, that an offer is going to expire. You could also, here, we'll just grab this countdown here and drag it over. You have a couple of options here. Fixed date, so here's when it ends, or we can say this is relative, so 24 hours from when this is sent. You can set that up, and again, when you're here, you can make modifications. Maybe I want my text color to be white. I want a transparent background, and there we go, right? So you can make these changes here, adjust the width a bit, right? Make it smaller, up to you. And again, you can use the text, the feature to hold down and tell it to do things, all kinds of great controls that you have access to there. And of course, you have all of those customizations, just like you do with all of the other sections in the page builder. You also have the ability to add polls in discussion room posts. So if you want to poll your community, all you have to do is go log into your member area. And let me actually go get into one that I can show you. And I will show you exactly what that looks like. All right, so any of your vaults that have a discussion room, so here's one here, you can actually go in and, oh, Greg actually created one here. So you can have different options. You can add your own. All you have to do is click poll, provide the options that you want. You can allow users to add their own, allow them to select multiple, and you can select an end date for this so that you can create the poll. So if I put that in here, you can see that this poll is now available, and this will send out to everybody who's a member of the vault if they are opted in for notifications. Just another really fun way to keep people engaged, especially in our vaults and in our emails. All right, final thing. This is so cool. If you guys are looking for the fastest way to get paid and you are someone who sells sessions, you sell your time, you can now take payments at booking. All right, so payments are directly available now on your calendar bookings. They do have coupon support. So if, for instance, you charge group A, but you give it to group B for free, that is something you can do here. Or if you have coupon codes that you want to use to provide discounts on services and things like that, you could use them. You have one-time payments. You also have recurring payments or payment plans. And through Stripe, right? So this is going to be through your Stripe account. You can see plan options are going to include Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, ClearPay, Google Pay support. These are all going to be things you can turn on in your Stripe account and will show up in AttractWell for payment options at booking. And if it's a call booking package with a recurring payment, then each payment is going to refresh the package. So let's go take a look at that together, and then we'll get into some live help and reviews. Here, let me just get to a new, here we go. Okay. So what we are doing now is going to our bookings. So I'm going to go to booking types, and I actually need to be, forgive me, I need to be in an account where I can show you that has payments enabled. All right. So I'm going to go to booking types here. And if, let's just say I wanted to charge for this one, here's my project work. All you have to do is set it up however you would like to set up your calls. And then we come down here to payment settings. This is a new setting here in your meeting settings. So we can go to payments, require payment. You'll connect your Stripe account, and then you get to choose a one-time payment. I'm going to do a one-time payment of 97. I could add a coupon code here. Maybe I am offering this for 50% off. And this is going to be January is going to be my code. Percentage amount is 50. I'm going to make, this is going to expire on January 31st. And the usage limit is going to be used by anyone. The maximum number it can be used is going to be for the first 10 people in January. So here we go. Usage limit is 10. I will add this coupon. I will save my booking type. All right, so you can see that that's there now. I can now view. I'll select my date and time. There we go. And you can see that there's Afterpay, Klarna, et cetera, are available here because I have those set up in my Stripe. But there is a coupon code. I'm going to type in the word January. And hit apply. There you go. Coupon is applied. Cut that down. Pretty cool, right? Well, there's another thing that we can do here. Maybe this is going to be a recurring payment of 97. So we're going to bill monthly, 97 a month. And you can have a different amount that they pay the first month. Maybe that's, a lower price the first month, et cetera. And this is going to renew and make available again if we are billing this on a monthly basis. So my setting here is for monthly. I can save this as well. I can view this again. And we can set this up as a call that they're able to access once a month, right? So 97 every month. Pretty cool, right? So you have that option here as well. You can also set this up with your call packages. So if you do have a call package and you would like to charge for it, so I will come down here to payments, require payment. This would be a one-time payment. For my 6 calls, that's going to be $7.97. There we go. You could do a coupon code if you want. I can save the call package, right? And this doesn't have availability on it, but you see where we're going with that. You're going to set it up the same way that I just showed for the booking type, right? Pretty cool. All right, so let's get into some live help and Q&A. I think it's important to note, we had a lot to cover today, and not all of these are necessarily going to be relevant to your use case. So what I want to invite you to do is, if there is something that you are interested in doing, accomplishing, learning purposefully in AttractWell, I want to invite you to let us know, right? Because what we are looking to do, and we did send a survey out yesterday. I'll be sending this out here over the next week to get your feedback. But we want to be able to show you how to do what it is that you want to do, right? And I think that the beauty of what you get with AttractWell, aside from the humans that are here to support you, right? We're not farming you out to AI to handle your questions, is that we are invested in and have the ability to actually create content that shows you how to use it the way that you need to use it. And in doing so, it's helping a whole lot of other people who probably have that same need too, right? Because the use cases, while they can be highly customized, they're usually pretty common, right? With a lot of parts of our system. So we want to invite you to reach out. If you ever feel like you are looking for an answer to something and you haven't been able to find it, or you found something close, but it's not complete, let us know. We are absolutely here to help you with that. All right. Let's see. I want to be sure that we are making space for the folks who signed up here today. And I don't see you in the Q&A here. So let me just see here really quick. Erica, are you here? If you're here, Erica, pop your hand up in the chat, as well as Jessica. You signed up for a live work review today. Jessica, if you are here, pop your hand up. And Victoria. If you are here, please pop your hand up and I will bring you out. All right. Hey, Jess, how can we help?
Hi there. Am I here?
You are.
Perfect. Y'all are so great. I just want to say thank you for that, first of all. And this is a new question. I don't know, can you see me or my
Cannot.
screen? Okay. So I just actually tried the importing the website, and it is ta every time I do the new website, whether it's a PDF of maybe my lead magnet or the Canva link that is from a sample website. It's creating the new website, but it's creating my simple site homepage. So like it results in that same sample site homepage. And so I don't know what I'm doing wrong for that example you just showed us.
Okay. All right. So let's go take a look in your account and we can look through that here together. All right. So you were trying to use the simple site feature for this?
No, I was just going to the website pages
Got you. Okay.
and I was adding a new, like creating a new site. Oh, I may
Hmm.
have just yeah, I just did it again here. And then it just went back to it added it added one, but it looks like my simple site page.
Got you. Do you know the name of it? Is it in your
Yeah,
pages
I was
list?
just looking at that. Okay, maybe save and finish. Okay,
Hmm.
maybe I didn't finalize the import, and so I'm doing that right now.
Okay.
Um mm, oh, that's what is, never mind, that was the key because it was just showing my simple site until it went to that.
Got you. Okay.
Okay, so never mind. That's questions asked
All
or
good.
answered. I really just we're creating all of these different pages, and I am uncertain how they all kind of come together. So like I'm doing the client funnel. I'm kind of midway between there, and as you see, I have a lot of pages. I'm trying to figure out how to create a homepage, about page, and I'm just kind of clunkily doing all of that.
Uh-huh.
And I don't really know how, because I just had my domain change over to my new domain, and I think that goes to my home page. But how does that all connect? Like how, if somebody, behold breath, they go to my website, how does that all connect? Because I've got all of these different pages created separately, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you really kind of get to decide what you want that experience to look like, right? So your homepage is generally like the lobby of a building, right? Where you could go in and look at the directory and choose which way to go. There's some indicator in the lobby that you're in the right place, that this is the right building for you, right? And that's kind of what we do in our top section here and on our homepage, provided that's where people land first. And then we send them to where they want to go from there. And so a map of the site is typically best accessed through a menu, right? So anything that you have is going to be available there, but there are always going to be pages that people can't reach unless they've done something first, right? And so
Okay.
so for example, in the client funnel challenge, you're creating a landing page, right? And that landing page should absolutely be offered like here, for instance, right? So here I can, if you click through here, you put in your information, I can give you this outcome, right? So this would be a great place to link to that landing page. And then once they opt in, they're going to a page that no one's going to see unless they opted in, right? And so that's that authority page. The lead magnet delivery page also, nobody sees that except people who say, yes, I want this. They fill in their name and email, and then they receive those things, right? So your website is going to have a lot of things that are public, searchable, discoverable. And then you're also going to have things that are really intended to be placed in front of people at the right time, right? And so the client funnel challenge, really, if I'm recalling correctly, for the majority of it, the only thing that should be or could be publicly available, searchable, et cetera, would be your landing page. And even in a lot of cases, like, you don't want just anybody to find a landing page. You want people who, are the right fit for that offer to find it, right?
Right.
So that strategic sharing of those entry points into your funnel, they're going to vary based on your business, but having a link to them up here in your menu is generally a good idea. Having a link to a landing page, or having the top section of your homepage or other pages function like a landing page, those are going to be beneficial for you as well.
So a landing page is just like you could have several different landing pages for several different offers. So like if I did a 6-week one-on-one, it would have its own landing page. If I did a group class thing, it would have its own landing page and is that correct?
You
Sort of?
could. So
Or,
it
but not
doesn't
really.
it doesn't have to be, right? So
Okay.
if you wanted to have a services page that had a list of each of the things that you
Uh-huh.
offer and the descriptions are there and they can choose to pay on that page, you could set it up that way. It really kind of depends on what it is that you're selling. So if you're selling a lot of things that are the same, so I met with a member of our community, Paul, earlier this week, who he sells webinars, right? And he's got 40 different webinars, and they're all more or less for the same audience. And he rotates through selling these live throughout the year. And in his case, it would make perfect sense because the mode is more or less the same for all. They just kind of get to choose what they want. And so he can have a page that has, everything that's for sale this quarter. And it's all there, and somebody could go and select the one that they want from that page. But if what you're doing is, you've got a 6-week offer here, and you've got, a one-off offer here, those probably don't belong on the same page unless they're tied to the same outcome or intended for the same person and sequence or option, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's just it feels, it feels a little clunky, but I don't think it's as clunky as it feels, but I'm just
Yeah.
not quite there yet. So,
The good news is that with websites, people are generally going to get to where you want them to go before they find something else, right? So, for instance, the majority of websites are not, when they're discovered, like through search, it's generally not their homepage, right? Unless there's been a lot of work that's gone into optimizing the homepage to be found on the first page of Google, which is not what most
gotcha.
most businesses don't do that unless they're like a chiropractor in Cincinnati. Then yes, they want to do that. But what people are most likely going to find are the pages that are really geared toward what they want or what you want them to see. So you're going to be promoting your landing page more often than your homepage, right? Because the landing page has a specific action that people can take where you can capture a lead and they can get something free, right? And so that's going to be a really high value thing for you to share because it grows your list. It gives people an opportunity to get a feel for who you are. We're not putting a sale out front because most people don't want a sale first. They want, an opportunity to get to know you first. And, and so you're not going to have as much of your homepage isn't going to be doing as much heavy lifting as you might think, right? So long
So,
as you've got pages that do what you want them to do and you're sharing those, then you're good. And there's a lot of leeway and padding, right? It's not super high consequence to have it perfect.
so my last maybe question then is if I'm sharing a landing page, but my homepage is linked to my domain, how is it going to look unprofessional to share my landing page? Does that make sense?
Well, your land, everything should be like, do you want everything on your website or everything that you build in AttractWell to be connected to this website?
I'm happy for it to, yes.
Yeah. So then, in that case, if this is the domain that you want to use, your landing pages, your pages, all of that, you can see here, it says beholdbreath.com. We go to the about page. It's still the same domain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got your links page, which isn't currently set up as a links page. That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, I'm confused. Yeah, I'm
it's
just
okay. It's a starting
it.
point.
Yes, I am. It is all very messy right now, and I'm
It's honestly not as bad as you think it is.
I'm
It's
like, I
really
probably
not.
should have just paid the, New Year's special for somebody to build it for me.
No, there's so many ways that you can make little modifications. I mean, even in what page was that? Was that the services page? So like on your services page here, let me see. I am not even going to fool around with this like I am a designer, because I'm not. But what I am going to do is, just use this talk to edit here and ask it to align the text in this section to the right side.
I've been trying to do that for a long time, and my voice to text won't work on my computer, so I've got to figure out a setting that
Huh.
um
Will you shoot a message to our team and let us know what's happening on your end? Because there's some troubleshooting that we play around with where that's concerned.
okay, yeah, it's just saying access denied, even though I've given it permission everywhere I can find. But yeah,
Mm, yeah. Okay. So here's all we
yeah,
needed
that's
to
way
do.
better. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
Yay!
See, that's simple. Yeah. I think that you're off to a really great start here. No, this is you're doing
And
fine.
I just figured out the Canva link to replace those images earlier today. And I just figured
Perfect.
out the mobile desktop situation. I've deleted some of those sections, but I'm sure I can figure out how to add those sections back in so that it looks right on each,
Yeah.
device.
I remember when you're using, you don't necessarily, if you're having issues with your microphone, which I have that with mine too. It's weird. But
I
you
can
could
put
also,
it there.
yeah, you could just type it in. Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can tell it what to do by typing also. Yeah.
Awesome. I probably still need to schedule I got like with my package a 1 hour thing that I need to schedule, and that will probably help me just have like a devoted 1 hour to help me through some of this stuff. So thank you so much. I appreciate you
Yeah.
so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for coming out. All right, let's get into some of these questions. Thank you guys for sticking around. Image cropping. If you want to find out about image cropping, let's see, I don't want to do this in Jess's account. So let me just pop out of here and get into one that we can use. Yeah, so if you wanted to go into a page and edit an image, you just go and you find your image. And do you see this here where it says add frame to image? This is what I was referring to in the beginning of the call. You see how it has these different options, right? So if I want it to be maybe cropped like this, it will do it for me. It will also add that new version of this image to my library. So this is actually something that you can do if you wanted to crop something to a circle, for instance. You could do that here, or all kinds of other shapes, and you don't have to worry about going to Canva for that. So you see how it just did that? That is what I meant by that. All right. Tanya, can you show how to download multiple pages from Canva? It would only download the first page of the file for me. I don't know how to do that. But what I would do, my exact workflow, just to let you know, is I would take each of those PDF files or image files, and if I didn't know how to combine them together on my device, I would open ChatGPT and give it the files and say, turn this all into one. So that is how I would do that. But to be fair, you are probably going to get a better result unless you truly mean for the page to have like a lot of length, which is totally fine depending on your use case. It might be better to do one at a time, just depending. All right. Randy says, I have a website written on a doc. All the content is complete and organized into sections. Now it needs to be designed and laid out in AttractWell with these amazing updates. Where would you suggest I begin? Yeah, so I would, you've got all of the content, so you know what you want to say. That's fantastic. Make sure, Randy, that you, in your outline of everything that you have to say, that you are clear on this is the hero section, right? Or this is section 1, section 2, section 3, so that they're clearly labeled and in order. I would potentially sit down with your favorite dedicated AI writer, give it that document and have it advise you on a structure for a website, right? So they might suggest that you have an image background with text centered with a button, right? Give you that kind of detail that you can then incorporate into that outline. And then when you give that to AttractWell, it can build everything out there for you. Now, when you're going copy forward, you're probably going to be doing a lot more design work, right? Because you're not saying start with design, you're saying start with copy, which is totally fine, to be fair. You could even combine both, where you could, clearly delineate in the words you're using in the document. Here is a visual layout of what I want. Here, section by section, is what I want it to say. And so have that all in the same document and give it a shot, see what it says, right? See what it creates for you. So yeah, I would consider sitting down and maybe coming up with an idea of how you would like to organize that information. Obviously, it needs to be in sequential order, but if you want to clarify that this piece needs to have 4 sections that highlight these words or something like that, then as much clarity and information you can provide, the better outcome you're going to get, because this is AI, and more is more in terms of information and clarity that you provide. So the more you can fill that document out so that it's not guessing and assuming for you, the better off you'll be with the result that you get. All right, Peggy says, I've not used the new AI tools in AttractWell yet. Where do I start to teach AI about my voice and programs? Yes, Peggy. So there is a training that we did a little while back. What I would recommend you do is hop over here to the Success Academy in AttractWell, go to live training and replays and type in AI settings. Okay, so that's live training and replays under the Success Academy. Search AI settings here. It's going to take you to our YouTube channel. This is the training you want. Now, first thing you need to know is that you don't need to watch all minute and 5 or hour and 5 minutes of this. You actually could just jump straight to this blog post where, and I'll just give you the link here in the chat. Here's your link. So go here. And then if you scroll down here to where I have the replay, I also have this AI setup checklist. And in this video, I kind of walked through the thinking behind how I set things up in the Right with AI and AttractWell, so that I have a fully fleshed out set of instructions for how it talks to leads versus how it talks to clients, what my offers are, how I convert, what my strategy is, etc. And so there are full examples here that you can copy, modify to your own liking, and add into your AI settings in AttractWell, which is right down here under your My Account settings. And then you go right here to AI settings and you put all of this stuff in here. This is going to be really, really powerful for you, especially for campaign writing, for instance. If you make clear here that when you provide a call to action to hop on my calendar, you go to this link, it will then automatically insert that into the campaign when it writes on your behalf, right? So lots of really cool stuff here, and there's a lot of space that you have to work with. I've actually outlined an entire program in here, which I could take over to a class, I would say. I could take this over to a class and have it built out that curriculum for me, right? Or at least the, excuse me, the skeleton for it. All right. So that is where you go. Maria says, all this is great and also overwhelming. Understood. It is a lot. Not knowing where to begin. Is there a training video series on help us to understand all these features and provide a step-by-step guide to implementing them? Okay. So here's the thing. And this is really what I kind of wanted AttractWell office hours to be in the first place. You could do everything with us. Everything that you can do with WordPress and with Wix and Squarespace and Kajabi and Teachable and you name it, right? Anything you can do with these other platforms, there is a way to get it done with us. And so I guess what I want to encourage you to do is not read the whole encyclopedia or think that you need to read the whole encyclopedia. Because what you don't want to do is learn everything, because you really don't need to, right? Because what you need in AttractWell is going to be unique for your business, your goals, and where you are right now. So what I would recommend is to think about what the project is that you want to get done next, right? And we actually have a great little cheat code for this for you. If you go again to the Success Academy right here, and you click on common projects, or even starting with the setup guide, right? We run through the things that are pretty important for you to know at the outset. So make sure that you've checked out some of these videos here. You've gone through the system setup that we're providing for you. And you also have the ability to take a questionnaire here so that we can tailor this for you, right? So I would start here, right? Your unique setup guide, based on what you need and where your business is at. Then be thinking about common projects, right? So I want to make a custom website. I want to build a web page for my site. There's all kinds of things that you could do. So I would start with a setup guide, take the quiz, check out common projects. And then as you start deciding with clarity on what your business needs and what step you really want to take next, then you could start getting into our courses that teach you how to do key, very specific setups in AttractWell, like building out a lead capturing, converting funnel, building out a space in your member area to serve clients in different ways. We've got, systems that run your business. We've got just getting started with new offers, or you could get into our library of all of these calls that we've been offering for years, right? So again, what I would recommend is to, instead of thinking that you have to learn the encyclopedia, because that it really is what you can do with AttractWell is encyclopedic. The closer you could get to understanding what you want to accomplish, the quicker you can get help finding exactly what you need to know right now and just what you need to know right now, so that you don't have to worry about anything else that you don't need right now, because we don't want to waste your time with stuff you don't need. All right. Tanya says, I was creating images in Canva and then downloading it. Yeah, that's how I have cropped images in the past as well, using the frames feature in Canva, but you can do that in AttractWell now, which is super fun and convenient. All right. Oh, I'm really glad that was helpful for you, Maria. All right. Fantastic. Well, we will be back same time next week. Again, if you have something that you are interested in doing and you're not seeing a clear path to get it done, let us know. Please fill out the survey. We'll be sending that out again this afternoon if you haven't seen it yet. And yeah, we were just so excited to see what you create and to help you get it done. We appreciate you guys, and we will be back same time next week. Take care, everybody.